Hi everyone, welcome to PodTales, presented by Baroda BNP Paribas Mutual Fund. We explore the world of finance and investments to help you make informed decisions about your money. आज हमारे पास एक ऐसा टॉपिक है that can transform your financial future, the power of compounding. And we look at how mutual fund SIPs can help investors take advantage of this power in their financial journey. This is PodTales, and we use the power of storytelling to show how true financial wisdom is timeless. For example, today's story, one that I'm sure you've come across at least once, underscores that being smart with money is often just a matter of keeping it simple, trusting the process, and being patient. Today on PodTales, to explain to us how compounding works in finance and investing and why it is like an investor's trusted friend, we have with us Mr. Suresh Soni, CEO, Baroda BNP Paribas Asset Management India Private Limited. Welcome to PodTales. It is so good to have you back on the show.
Thank you, Annie. Delight to be talking to you again.
Could you explain what the power of compounding is and why it is so significant in the world of investments?
I'm glad, Annie, you are asking this. Power of compounding is the most powerful concept in investing world. In fact, Einstein called it eighth wonder of world. So what does it mean? It means that when you invest your money grows. Then you earn not only on your original investment amount, but also on the growth that you have achieved on the investment. And therefore, your money continues to grow at faster and faster rate. To simply put it, let's say you invested 100 rupees, you earn a 20% return. At the end of the year, you have 120. And so therefore, next year, you're not going to earn on 100, but next year, you're going to earn on 120. And therefore, the next year earning, instead of being 20 on 10, on 100 rupees, i.e. 20, the next year earning is going to be on 120, 20%. And therefore, it's going to be 24. And then it keeps adding and adding. And what it does is, over a period of time, it makes your money grow much faster than you can imagine. Our minds are wired to think linearly. We cannot imagine how exponential investing works. But that is what really leads to, let's say, Indian Sensex having grown from 1979 to about 83,000 yesterday. That's 830 times in just a period of about 45 odd years. You try to think about it, you just can't get those numbers right. But it's a patient investing, staying invested that has delivered the return. Now, to illustrate this powerful concept of compounding, we actually have a nice story, which will probably bring it to life a lot more clearly for you.
The fable, The Grain of Rice, illustrates well the power of compounding. Once upon a time, a wise man did a great service for a king. In gratitude, the king offered to reward the wise man with anything he wished. The wise man, being a smart mathematician, made what appeared to be a simple request. He asked the king to give him a single grain of rice on day one and keep doubling it daily for another 30 days. The king, thinking this is a modest request, readily agreed. The doubling began. 1 grain on the first day, 2 grains on the second day, 4 grains on the third day, 8 grains on the fourth day, and so on. Initially, the gifts seemed small. By day 11, 1,024 grains of rice were owed. By day 21, however, over 1 million grains were due. On day 30, the count reached over 500 million rice grains. That exceeded all the rice in the kingdom. You can't have day 31 if the deal was for 30 days. Before this, link the story to compounding by something. No. This, my friends, in essence, is the power of compounding. Staying consistent and compounding is what has turned a single grain of rice into 500 million grains. In essence, the power of compounding is a crucial concept for investors to understand and leverage. Here's why. 1. Small beginnings lead to big results. Just like starting with 1 grain of rice, Starting with a small amount of money can grow significantly over time if it keeps earning interest or returns. 2. Time is your friend. The longer you let your investment grow, the more powerful compounding becomes. Just like how the rice amount exploded by day 30, your investments can grow exponentially over many years. The earlier you start investing, the more time your money has to grow. 3. Earning on earnings. You earn money not only on your initial investment, but also on the earnings you've already accumulated. This helps your investment grow faster. 4. Reduced effort. Compounding works automatically once you invest. Unlike active trading, which requires constant attention, compounding allows your investments to grow with minimal intervention.
I think I always like that story. Teaches us not to give up and to keep doing the basics right. That can, over time, feel like you compounded your luck and created a fortune. Well, then, moving on to the next question. Let's start with the basics for our listeners who might be new to investing. Can you explain in detail what an SIP or systematic investment plan entails, Mr. Suresh?
Sure. So systematic investment plan is a fairly simple concept. You set aside a certain amount of money at regular intervals, and over a period of time, that money gets deployed and keeps earning return. And in fact, before you realize, the money grows to a substantial amount.
Right.
At this stage, I just want to kind of tell viewers about a couple of simple but powerful concepts. Um, the first one is about rule of 72. Now, I don't know if many of your viewer listeners are familiar with it, but rule of 72 is a fairly simple mathematical formula.
Mhm.
What you do is, if you want to know in how many years you'll double your money, you simply take the rate of return. 72 divided by rate of return gives you the number of years in which your money will double. So let's say you're making a bank deposit today, which pays you 7%. 72 divided by 7%, you'll double your money probably in about 10 years' time. Instead, if you have invested in the stock market, which let's say gives you 14% per annum, 72 divided by 14, roughly you get 5 years. So you double your money in 5 years. Now, over a 20-year period, if you really think about it, in deposits, your money is growing to double in 10 years. So in 20 years, it grows 4x. Whereas if you put it into the market, it doubles in 5 years. Next 5 year, it quadruples. So 2 times, 4 times. In the next 5 year, it goes 8 times. And finally, in the last 5 year, it grows 16 times. So over a 20-year period, while your deposit has grown only to 4x, your money in equity market has grown to 16 times.
Right.
And the gap becomes wider and wider as the time goes by. Therefore, if you put your money for a period of time, it grows a lot faster and becomes much, much larger. In case of SIP, very frankly, if you start a small amount of money and keep setting it aside for a long period of time, it becomes a very powerful number. So a simple illustration would be a 15, 15, 15,
Right.
15,000 rupees put in for 15 years.
Sure.
If it grows at 15% per annum, will become 1 crore rupees at the end of that period. Now you start thinking about it, you typically can't imagine your 15,000 rupees growing into 1 crore. But
Right.
basically what it means is that if you stay at it, you allow the process to work, irrespective of markets going a little up and down and having to worry about headlines. Keep investing some amount of money regularly, whatever you think is feasible for you. And over a period of time, it builds into a fortune.
I guess what is extremely important to understand when it comes to SIP and the compounding interest concept is that you have to give yourself time and also your wealth some time to increase steadily and methodically. Well, thanks, Suresh, for that. और वो लोग जो अपने इन्वेस्टमेंट पर अच्छे रिटर्न्स कमाना चाहते हैं और those who are concerned about saving enough for retirement or for their children's education, how can compounding help with that? Can you illustrate? Can you help us understand the power of compounding with an example?
Exactly. So I think if you really think about it, as I said, this rule of 72 doubles your money in per- percentage return. If you really take about 14%, your money doubles in about 5 years. If you look at the mutual funds, for example, well-managed mutual funds over a period of last 20 years or so would have grown your money anywhere between 20 to 25 times.
Sure.
Now, even if you started with a small amount of money, it actually grows into a seriously large sum, whether you're planning for your retirement or your kids' education. Start early, the child is born, you're taking care of the child, you're paying for school education, you are paying for the monthly expenses. Try and keep aside a small amount of maybe 2,000 or 5,000 rupees per month
Right.
just for the child. So even if you did, let's say, 1,500 rupees per month for a period of 15 years,
Hmm.
the amount will grow into something like about 10 lakh rupees just at 15% return.
Right.
And by the time the child has graduated or is ready to go for his higher education, you've got a tidy sum available to you. So effectively, what you need to do is put some money with whatever be the goal, define a goal, define the time horizon, and invest regularly. It doesn't matter if the amount that you're looking to do is not very large. You don't have to have a very large sum to start with. The trick lies in starting early and being regular with it. So, like we saw the story, I think the story of the grain of rice, it's an amazing story to illustrate the power of compounding. Just a grain of rice over a period of 10 days, by doubling every day, became into 1,000 grains of rice. The money, if you really allow it some time, grows that fast too. Of course, it doesn't grow to 1,000 times. That was more to illustrate the point. But allowing time to your money really leads to significant increase in value. Most of the equity funds, for example, over the last 20 years have grown your money 20 to 25 times. You give them a little more time, like if you look at the overall market, stock market index, 100 in 1979 for BSE Sensex. In 2024, the number is actually 83,000. That's 830 times in 45 years. So numbers really grow significantly over a period of time, provided you stay at it, you start early, and let the process do its work. We are fortunate to be in a growing economy. Economy continues to grow, markets continue to grow. We just have to invest, start early, and be patient with it. Finally, to establish the importance of SIP, here are some interesting points, trivias about SIPs, and how they have become a meaningful part of Indian financial market, as well as in preferred choice for investors over a period of time.
SIPs were first introduced in India in 1993 and have been growing rapidly. The total number of SIP accounts in India touched 1 crore in 2016. According to AMFI data, the total number of SIP accounts in India has crossed 7 crore or 70 million. That's a 600% increase in just 8 years.
Oh, that is great to know that there is so much that has been happening when it comes to SIPs here in India. Moving on to the last question. As we delve deeper into the concept of compounding, could you elaborate on some key rules or principles that investors should adhere to in order to maximize the benefits of compounding and achieve substantial long term growth in their investments?
Sure. So the benefit of compounding only come when you stay the course. So the rule number one is continue at it. One of the things about markets is markets are a noisy place. They are a volatile place. You would every now and then hear something negative, something about war, something about US Fed rate hike or this or that. Don't get distracted.
Yeah.
Your goal has to be clear. You're saving for your child, you're saving for your retirement, you have your goal far away. It's 15 year, 20 year hence. Stay invested. and keep your investments flowing regularly through SIPs or whatever you have, continue holding. The money in this market is actually made by staying invested rather than trying to time it. There have been numerous studies that have come from SEBI as well as many market participants which illustrate that playing in short-term strategies, whether it is day trading or F&O, does not really make money. It's a great money-making machine. Stock markets compound your wealth over a period of time. Just give it time.
Well, I think that's great advice, Suresh. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you. It's been a delight talking to you again.
That was some great advice, Mr. Suresh. Thank you so much for joining us today and shedding light on the power of compounding. And to our listeners, you heard what the expert had to say. Start your compounding journey with SIPs and watch your investments grow. Until next time, happy investing, and I'll see you on the next episode of PodTales.
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents